Okay, so after I finished my eyebrows, I'm now going to move on to my eyes, and I love using the Estee Lauder Double Wear as my eyeshadow base. So I'll be using the Lejemalik concealer brush to apply a little bit of that Double Wear maximum cover concealer all over my lids as my primer. I feel that this works for me best because I have really dark eyelids, and this covers them up beautifully, and my eyeshadow doesn't move this way, especially like in this area over here. You want to make sure you get that because for most people they miss that spot, and there's a lot of darkness in this little area here. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, and I'm going to be going in first with this color here, Fresh, to apply it on my brow bone. I'm going to use the Lejemalik highlight brush for this so I can get a nice application over from underneath my brows up into this area where I'll be blending my eyeshadow color. It'll help give you a nice base for blending. I'm also going to be using the Huda Beauty palette. This was the original palette, and I'm going to go into the color Shy. I love this color as a transition color when I'm going for like pinks and mauves and, you know, those shades. I love that as a transition color. So I'm using the Morphe M532 brush to apply that here in my crease. Next, I'll be going in with the E3 brush from Lejemalik, and I'm going to use the color Flamingo from the Huda Beauty palette. And I just want to intensify that pink in that crease area. So next I want to create some intensity. So I'm going to put in the color Bossy right here. It's like a dark auburnish purpley tone. Using the E3 brush because it kind of tapers off in the end, which will help me create a nice depth in the outer corner. So I'm focusing this color right here on that outer V. So you see that I created a little bit depth on the outer part. I'm going to go in now with back into the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I will be using my E1 brush and going into the color Rose Quartz, which is this gorgeous color right over here. And I'm going to apply that on my lids. I didn't cut my crease with a concealer because I'm going for a more diffuse, softer look. If you want this to pop out a little bit more, you can go ahead and clean that up with a concealer first. I'm just going to pack that on right on the lids. And then going back in with a little bit of the pink Flamingo just to blend this together. And make sure everything is blended out. Now I'm going to go in with the Thrive Black Eyeliner Pencil, and I just want to sharpen this here. I'm just going to use this little back piece here to sharpen this and get a nice sharp point. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the base of my lash line. I'm basically doing a kind of like a guideline for my eyeliner, and then I'm going to smudge it. So don't worry about this part. It doesn't have to be perfect. See there? And I'm going to go ahead and continue that. And I'm going super thin right in here, a little thicker on the outer, and then I'm going to pull it in that inner corner. Use the other side, which is kind of like this little smudgy tool here, and I'm going to smudge that out. Now I'm going to go back into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, and I'm going to be using Nude, the black right there, and the pencil brush from Lejemalik. And I'm just going to smudge out that black line to smoke it out. I'm going to go in with the M505 brush from Morphe into that black shade again, and just darken up that little corner right there and pull that out. Just to pull the eye out and give it a little bit more intensity in that outer part there. Do that again here. Now to open up my eyes, I'm going to be putting a nude liner in my waterline. So the pencil I used in my waterline is by Maybelline in the color Nude. Now I like to set that liner by applying any shimmery shade. I'm taking the one from the Sultry palette here in Pearl, and I'm applying that with the detail brush from Lejemalik, taking a little bit on my brush and just setting that nude liner, and this will just give you kind of like a sparkle to your eye. After setting that eyeliner, I'm going to go in with the same detail brush. I just wiped it off, and I'm going to be using the same shades I used on the top. So I'm going in with Bossy, and I'm going to be applying that on my lower lash line. And essentially what you want to do is go underneath that beige liner to kind of give a wide eye, open eye look. The E1 Lejemalik brush, I'm going to go in with the color Shy, mixed in with the color Flamingo. So kind of like the same shades I used on the top. And I'm just going to apply that at the bottom there just to blend that out. Now we're going to get our lashes on. So these lashes I've been working really hard on, and inshallah they'll be available very soon. These are the lashes I'm using today. Now that my lashes are on, I can begin with my face, and the first thing I'm going to do is use the Dermablend primer. It's the Instant Jelly Grip Primer, and I like to use this just like underneath my eyes. I feel like it helps hold my concealer, keeps it from creasing, and lasts a lot longer. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply a very small amount, just right in there. I'm going to be applying my foundation today using the new Sonicblend by TODD Beauty, and my foundation today will be from Dior Forever in the color 31, and simply I'm going to apply the foundation right on the brush here, and then power the button on. This will vibrate. It has 3 settings. It has the first vibrating setting, which is the lower setting, and then the second one, which is a little faster, and then this one, which it's like a pulsing. So I'm going to start with the first one there. Got my foundation on the brush, and I'm just going to begin by just applying a light, my hand is like lightly on my skin, and I'm just going to rotate in circles. This gives you a beautiful finish. It's like an airbrushed finish. I feel like it shears out the foundation, like it blends it out so well to give you just like that perfect coverage. I'm going to do one side of my face so you guys can see the difference. And I'm actually doing the side that has more spots and acne on it. So you'll really get to see how beautiful this looks. I have no concealer on. Get around that hijab. Always hard doing your foundation when you're a hijabi trying to film a tutorial. Do you see that? So one pump I was able to spread it on a whole side of my face and blend that out beautifully. Do you see how beautifully that looks? It looks so natural. So I'm going to turn this off just so I can show you. This is amazing. It's the Sonicblend Michael Todd Beauty. Look at my skin. Let me zoom in. I have so many spots, but this just looks like skin because it's spread out. Like you can't, it doesn't feel heavy. I don't feel like I'm wearing foundation. Let's go ahead and finish the other side of my face. One pump should be enough for this whole side of my face. Do you see how even that looks? That's a beautiful even coverage. And now I'm going to move on to my concealer. And I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape in the color light medium. And I'm just going to apply that right under here. So let's blend that out using the Lejemalik concealer brush. So I like using this brush because it's easy to get into like those little hidden corners that we tend to miss. And here I will carve out that eyeshadow and clean it up. I like to begin with a brush and then soften it up with my beauty blender. So this way I'm not wiping off too much of the concealer. So here I have my wet beauty blender and I'm just gonna dab that in, blend it into my foundation. Very hard to do when you have your hijab on. Using the same sponge, set my foundation with my MAC Mineralize powder in the color Medium Plus. And using that same sponge, I'm going to go in there, get that on there nicely, and just press that in. And continue pressing the rest of your skin. I'm going to be using the Benefit Cheekleader's Bronze Squad, and I'm going to use this to bronze, to highlight, and to apply my blush. And I'm going to start with my contour using the Lejemalik contour brush, and I'm going into Hoola Caramel. I used to always use Hoola, like the original, and I still love that one, but I recently tried the Hoola Caramel and I really like it. So let's lift that hijab off. And blend that contour to perfection. This is so much easier without the hijab. Like, you guys have no idea the struggle of contouring your face with a hijab on. I obviously don't do my makeup every day with my hijab on. This is just for this video. I haven't put any mascara on because I tend to like to do my mascara last. This way I don't have to worry about it looking dusty from like my highlight, my contour, my powder, and all of that dustiness going, you know, like the powder is flying everywhere. It tends to make your lashes look a little dusty. So I like to leave that as my last step. So typically I like to contour my forehead. Just going to be very difficult with the hijab on again. But let's see what we can do here. And then let's do the nose. I like to do is the highlight and then put my blush on top of that to soften up the highlight, only because I'm not a huge highlight girl. So again, back into this palette, just dabbing with my Lejemalik highlight brush and just applying that right in here. And take a little bit up to my brow bone. And now to soften that up, I'm going to go in with my blush, and I'm going to be using a little bit of Colorista and then a little bit of Gold Rush. So I'll start with the Colorista on my Lejemalik brush. Another thing that's hard to do with a hijab on, so let's lift that up just slightly and get that on there. So I told you guys I don't like to put my mascara until after I've done all the powders. So now that I've finished all of that, I will go ahead now, and I'm using the new mascara by Too Faced, Damn Girl. I got a sample of it, so I'm testing it out. And I'm just gonna connect my false lashes with my natural lashes, or the opposite. My natural lashes to my false lashes. I'm not gonna put too much, just lifting it up and mashing the two together. Just gives it a little bit more darkness and depth in that base. And also going to apply that to my lower lashes. My lipstick, I will be using the Gerard Cosmetics in Bareitall, one of my all-time favorite colors. This one and Everything Nice Obsessed. I like to line my lips with my liquid lipsticks because I feel like they don't feather. As a final step, I like to go in where I have, you don't see it anymore because of all the foundation, but I have a natural beauty mark right over here. I like to go in and just intensify it. And I'm just using that brow pencil. It's really small. There we go. And this is the complete look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you guys enjoy these types of videos, and let me know in the comments below what other videos you'd like to see. Thanks. Bye.